with Jet coaches yesterday and today. They said the key to the game is controlling Barry Sanders, and Paul, to this point, they have not done it.
No, they haven't. Running or receiving, he's got total yardage over 120 yards, 91 rushing the ball right now. In order for the Jets to win, they must contain him. I think the Jets offensively are going to be able to score at least 2 more touchdowns, possibly 3.
Whoa.
But
I'm going out on a limb making predictions.
I'm not worried about it, because the Detroit Lions defense is really not doing a whole lot to stop them either. But if they don't stop Barry Sanders, this game's history.
Yes, Sanders, 11 rushes, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, plus 4 catches for 32 yards. And Eric Kramer with a good first half, 14 for 23. Ken O'Brien has had his difficulties. A couple of drops have not helped. Johnny Hector on the kickoff return. Hector reaching out across the 30-yard line, goes for 25. A look at the Coors Light halftime statistics and look at the total yards. And here's another case where you can forget about time of possession, where the Jets have the edge.
Yeah, that doesn't make any difference. See the passing yardage for the Jets, only 47 yards. Remember, they had a long ball to Tune that he dropped. They've had a few other ones that have been dropped. Once O'Brien starts hitting downfield, which I think he can do, that's going to change, and he's going to get up into the 200-yard mark.
Only 4 out of 10, 47 yards. Blair Thomas is back in the backfield. However, the call to Brad Baxter. Baxter in the first half, 7 carries, 46 yards.
At halftime, Marv, I talked to Herb Patera, who is a linebacker coach of the Detroit Lions, and from where they are here, they cannot get to the locker room because they don't have enough time, and they're really livid, the coaching staff, about the block of Brad Baxter on Jerry Ball. They said it's just totally uncalled for, which will be sent to the league office.
Jerry Ball out with a sprained knee off the shot he took. 2nd down and 4 from the 37. We're just underway in the 3rd quarter. And it is Baxter picking up the first down. Stopped by the combination of Blades and Crockett.
You know, you give credit, there's Jerry Ball right there. You give credit to the offensive line, but that time Al Toon staying with his block enabled the first down by Baxter. Jerry Ball is back on the sidelines. He's got a sweatsuit on. The thing we get is sprained knee. Now, that could be, and after they do x-rays and things tomorrow, it'll be a little bit different, maybe.
It's a first down from the 44. Nice play action fake, and O'Brien has it broken up. Double coverage. Blades got a piece of it. The pass intended for Moore.
I mean, first of all, this ball shouldn't be thrown to Moore because of the double coverage downfield. The man he should be throwing the ball to is Mark Boyer, the tight end. Run a play action pass, that's fine. But take a look for your tight end. Don't throw into double coverage down the field.
And tight ends have hurt the Detroit Lions this season, but Ken O'Brien has not looked in the direction of Mark Boyer. 2nd down and 10 at the 44. Jets trailing by 10. Lions 24 and the Jets 14. And a timeout call by the Jets. That is not a timeout the Jets wanted to take, but there looked to be confusion. So we'll take a break. Back after this. For the Jets from their 44-yard line. Lions 24, the Jets 14. Here's Thomas. Blair Thomas with a short pickup. Stopped by Mark Spindler and Tracy Hayworth. Spindler, the left defensive end, and Hayworth, the outside linebacker. It's a 5-yard advance. Blair Thomas has certainly had his ups and downs this season. He claims that he has not been in a slump, but much more has been expected of Blair Thomas. He did fumble earlier today, and since then He has been pulled. We're seeing more and more of Hector and McNeil. Here is an end around, and then Toon will throw it on a flea flicker. A wide open Ken O'Brien. He was run out by Benny Blades, so the trick play worked.
It really did, and it was beautiful to watch it develop because O'Brien, here comes Toon in motion. He's going to come back, and he gives the ball to Toon. Watch O'Brien. I mean, nobody even gets near O'Brien, but once he catches the ball, all he's waiting for is a defensive back to get over there. Let me get out of bounds, and don't go whacking at me because Benny Blades, I'm going to get out of bounds inside the 25, and that's exactly what he did.
27 yards on the flea flicker. And a nice hole for Brad Baxter. Spindler and Spielman combine. It is a 2nd and 6 from the 20. And here's Moore. And he was hit down by Ray Crockett. Moore could not get outside. That's a pickup of 4. 3.5 gone by in the 3rd. And the Jets are down by the score of 24-14. Jets come in at 7 and 6. They are tied with Miami for the 3rd and final AFC wild card spot. The Miami Dolphins tomorrow night home for Cincinnati, next week at San Diego, and then home for the Jets. It could come down to winner take all in that final Jet Miami game. O'Brien off the roll, throwing, has the first down. Rob Moore on the reception, stopped by Hunter, and Taylor went for 7 and a first down.
Now here we are back again in the 3rd down situations, and 3rd and 1 and 2, and throwing the football, and they were successful with it. And one of the reasons they are successful is everybody on the defensive secondary, they're dropping back into the end zone, and all O'Brien is doing is have his receivers go down. Rob Moore that time goes down and just hooks it up short, and they pick up the first down. That's all they wanted to do. They weren't planning on scoring on the play.
It is a 1st and goal from the 8. And Baxter stopped by Spindler. It'll be a 2nd and goal. The ball being spotted outside the 5.
Very interesting play calling. But they're seeing things, again, that we're not seeing, and they know what's opened up. The most important thing that's opened up in this ball game for the Jets is the fact that the Lions are playing without Jerry Ball in the middle.
And here's Freeman McNeil. And he's cut off from the end zone by Dennis Gibson, the inside linebacker. McNeil goes for 5.
There was a tremendous block on the inside by number 75, Irv Eatman. Right at the line of scrimmage. Irv Eatman just comes down the line of scrimmage, and then he makes a block. Baxter gets an excellent block. And Freeman McNeil almost scores. Now you're down here in his 3rd and 1 and 2 situation again. Want to bet they throw? They're all bunched inside.
84 Dressel in motion. Oh, they go to the ground, and McNeil is hit back behind the line. Hayworth and Blades combining on the tackle, and Pat Leahy, who missed from 30 yards late in the 2nd quarter, will come on and attempt from shorter range.
Blades was just sitting at the line of scrimmage, and remember, on all the other 3rd and shorts, The Jets passed the football. That time they just bunched all 11 guys almost from tackle to tackle, from tight end to tight end, and try to run the ball.
This is a 22-yard attempt for Leahy. He's 24 for 34 for the season. And this time it is good. 8:09 remaining in the third. The Lions now by 7. Play. It ended up as a field goal. Jets not able to convert on a third down run by Freeman McNeil. The key play, Brian, on the catch off the flea flicker pass thrown by Al Toon, the first career completion for Al Toon, and the catch by O'Brien, his first career reception.
And it showed tremendous hands on that play.
Yes, it did, Paul.
Feet.
Let's not get nasty.
No. Feet are a little lacking. But he already told us once before that he'll never be called Twinkle Toes.
Well, Louis Aguiar getting set to kick off. They have been able to successfully keep it away from the #1 kick return man in the NFL. There he is. 6th year from Purdue, Mel Gray, a Plan B acquisition from New Orleans back in '89. Well, this time Gray had a shot at it, couldn't get to the high hopper, and it carries out of bounds. So Aguiar continues to do the good job. You saw penalty flags go flying.
Well, the question is, if nobody touches the ball, it goes out of bounds. The Lions will get the ball at the 35.
Place on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they do. I can't believe the Jets didn't go down and catch the ball. I mean, this is crazy. Here comes Gray. Watch this. He lets the ball hit the ground. I mean, that ball is live. Now here, the ball is hit and then knocked out of bounds by the Lions. They should not get the ball at the 35. The ball is knocked out of bounds by the Lions. The ball goes back to where the Lions knock it out of bounds. The Jets had a piece of the ball. You've got to review this. I mean, you're giving those guys about, what, 17 yards?
You saw number 89, Dale Dawkins, go for it. Here it is.
All right, watch this. The ball hits. Now, I don't know what Gray's thinking about because he's got to field the ball. Dawkins, he's got his hands on the ball, and then it's knocked out of bounds by Detroit. Now, the ball, that's inside, right at the 20-yard line, 19-yard line. That's where it should go out of bounds, not where they're giving the ball.
That was DJ Dozier, who was able to get a piece of it and knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, Al Roberts is, I mean, he's beside himself because Dawkins actually had the ball in his hands. But the ball should not be at the 35-yard line. The ball should be back down by the 18 or 19-yard line. But here's Gray. Watch this. He pulls away. This is not a punt. This is a kickoff. Here it is. Dawkins touches it, and then it's knocked out of bounds by Detroit. The ball goes out where? 18-yard line? You got to put the ball back, boys. Please put it back.
After a review by the replay official, we have a reversal.
Yeah, I would.
The play is ruled as being touched by the kickers by the receivers at the 17 before it went out of bounds. It'll be first down on the 17-yard line. First down.
How about we roll 2 today?
They will move it back. Well, here are 2 instances, Paul, where instant replay has been right on.
Well, I'm going into officiating as soon as his career is over.
In fact, many of us were going to suggest that. And I speak on behalf of the entire crew. 7:58 remaining in the third. And the Lions lead the Jets by the score of 24-17. Detroit first down at the 17. Kramer to throw on first down. And the catch by Farr. Stopped by Washington. Mike Farr, the son of one-time Lion All-Pro Mel Farr. He's in his second year out of UCLA, a pleasant surprise last season as a rookie.
You know what's happening with the Jets defensive line? You see, they've knocked a couple of balls down, Marv, but one of the problems that they're having is they're not really putting an all-out rush. on Kramer because they're trying to be aware of where Barry Sanders is all the time. They don't want him to get beyond them.
2nd down and 3. Farr comes in motion. And Sanders with the handoff botch. Not a good handoff from Eric Kramer, or perhaps Sanders was not expecting it. Loggeman on the tackle.
And downfield, we got a couple of guys that are tangled. Face mask. Grimm is in there again.
So Brett Perriman also involved. But getting back to that play, looked to be either a careless handoff or confusion as to what the play was.
Well, look at Kramer. He goes back. Now, he goes to hand the ball and then pulls the ball away. He is the man that the quarterback is responsible for this. His job is to make sure he goes back and puts the ball in the stomach of the back. Now, he hesitated. From that angle, it doesn't look like he hesitated, but he did, because what Sanders is doing is he's looking for the hole to run.
Kramer able to cover up, though. 3rd down and 7. And Kramer's pass almost intercepted. Kyle Clifton with a shot at it. The pass intended for Mike Fall.
Grimm was also there, and you know that they're booing. This young man Kramer is throwing balls that shouldn't be thrown. Actually, could have run the ball. Whether you've gotten a 1st down or not, I don't know. But he threw the ball into a whole lot of white shirts.
And here is Jim Arnold back at his 5. It is his 3rd punt of the day. He's done very well. That's Terrence Mathis waiting for the punt out at the 34-yard line. Arnold line drives it. Mathis. Oh, hit immediately. Excellent coverage. Ray Crockett getting downfield in a hurry. 49-yard punt. No return. Lions lead it by 7. Jets back to the offense. O'Brien had it knocked loose, and it's recovered by Detroit. Anthony Bell covers up.
The tackle was made by Melvin Jenkins. They had a blitz by the corner, came in. O'Brien was still trying to, they're still trying to throw that play action and throw it downfield. Now, take a look at this. Here's O'Brien. The play action is there. He's looking for more on the outside. He's covered. Now, here comes Jenkins. Comes in, knocks the ball loose. The fumble is recovered by Bell, Anthony Bell, number 59, and Detroit has the ball with a chance of going in at the 22-yard line.
Anthony Bell in his 6th year out of Michigan State. Backup outside linebacker, making the recovery off the tackle by Jenkins. And Kramer throws. Willie Green stopped by James Hasty. That goes for 5. It'll be a 2nd and 5 from the 17. Look at the success of the Lions when they play in dome stadiums.
They're actually going to be voting for dome stadiums throughout the world.
Well, of course, they play in the dome where they are 7-0. Not the case on the road. On the reverse, Perriman could not make the turn. Mike Grimm forced him out. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
I just watched Lonnie Young that time trying to make a tackle, and it looks like, you get a feeling that his left shoulder is bothering him and he can't get his arm up because he couldn't make the tackle. Watch this. Here comes Perriman around. Now watch number 31, Lonnie Young. Watch his left arm. His right arm's up. His left arm, he can't get it up in to make the play. Then Brim comes over and makes the tackle. I don't like reverses anyway. I'm sorry.
It's a 3rd down and 8 at the 20. Detroit trying to take advantage of that O'Brien fumble. Kramer able to slip away, throws. Did he catch it? Out of bounds. Did not have possession. Robert Clark bobbled and could not maintain inbounds.
Eric Kramer, what a great play he makes to the outside, and look at where he throws this ball. This ball should have been caught. Now Clark just cannot maintain control of the ball and does bobble it. The official were right on target. They won't review that. They don't even have to.
So with a 4th down and 8, at the 20. Eddie Murray, who in the first half hit from 43 yards away, will attempt from 37. And Murray has done it again. 5:08 remaining in the third. The Lions lead it by 10. First kickoff return. Nice spin. So the Jets have done a good job on kickoff returns. That goes for 30 yards. Kevin Pritchett on the stop. Rather, Kelvin Pritchett on the stop. Look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker. The Raiders now lead Buffalo 27-14 in the third. Washington and Phoenix tied at 14 in the fourth. Redskins, though, have already clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs, with the Saints losing earlier. San Francisco by 1 over Seattle, and Atlanta leading the Rams. Jerry Glanville with a chance to lead the Falcons to the playoffs for the first time since 1982. Blair Thomas could not get outside. Stopped by George Jameson and Dennis Gibson. And now we're set for an update. Here's Bob Costas.
Marv, the Raiders extend their lead at the Coliseum on this 1-yard touchdown run by Marcus Allen. The setup was a Jay Schrader pass of 59 yards to Mervin Fernandez to move them deep into Buffalo territory. Raiders need this one, and they lead it 27-14 late in the third. Marv?
All right, Bob. 4:15 to go in the third here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. It's a 2nd and 9 for the Jets. And Baxter coughed it up. Tracy Hayworth runs it in. For Hayworth, outside linebacker, doubles as a tight end. Second year out of Tennessee. Brad Baxter has had fumble problems in recent weeks.
He ran into his own man. I mean, there was no place to go with this play. First of all, Freeman McNeil went to the right. Brad Baxter went to the left. And they're over there talking about, I mean, somebody, obviously, I think, went the wrong way. Now, take a look at Freeman McNeil's on the bottom. Watch Freeman. He comes over here. Brad Baxter, he hits his own man. Mike Haight, that's who he hit. The ball pops out. And then Hayworth runs in for the touchdown. That's a strange play.
Well, the Lions have also used Hayworth upon occasion at fullback, but that is his first NFL touchdown. We'll be right back. Injured. Owens looks to be okay, but there is a problem, obviously, with Crockett.
Ray Crockett, they had to carry him off the field. Now, they said that he got hurt the play before this last play. He stayed on the field.
He did not want to come out, and then re-injured himself. Eddie Murray with the point after. So the Jets with their third turnover, now trailing 34-17. And Ray Crockett will be taken back to the locker room.
Here is the touchdown. Now watch what happens to Brad Baxter. There's Haight is back there. The ball just pops out. He runs into his own man. Dan Owens drives Haight back into the backfield. The ball pops up. Hayworth picks it up and goes for the touchdown. Now, we don't know what happened to Crockett, but they are wheeling Crockett off the field now and taking him to the locker room.
And they are doing it in a hurry. Ray Crockett, outstanding left corner for the Lions, the NFC's Defensive Player of the Month for November. In his third year out of Baylor, he cracked the starting lineup the last part of last season, and he has played so well.
Now, actually did not have contact on the touchdown play, but let's take a look at it on this play here. Ray Crockett is number 39 on the left-hand side of your screen. Here he is being blocked. But he's just kind of standing around, and it looked like he was having some kind of a seizure.
Well, we'll pass on a report as soon as it comes across. Fair catch by one of the up men, Mark Boyer. And with 3:56 remaining in this third quarter, the Jets are now down 34-17. A look at what is taking place next Sunday here on NBC, starting with NFL Live. First down from the 28 for the Jets. O'Brien stepping up, and it's broken up by Spielman. Getting a piece of it. Pass intended for Terrence Mathis. A look at the AFC playoff race. The division leaders, Buffalo, Houston, and Denver. And the Raiders and Kansas City in very good shape. Kansas City with a victory in overtime today. So it comes down to the Jets and Miami at 7 and 6. And they meet in the final weekend of the season. O'Brien off the fake. Catch by Freeman McNeil. George Jameson made the stop. He went for 10. It's a first down for the Jets. The Jets tied with Miami for that third and final AFC wild card spot. Trailing Kansas City 1 game over Seattle. And they say that Ray Crockett suffering from muscle cramps and may return. O'Brien's pass incomplete.
O'Brien's pass intended for 2, incomplete.
It'll be a second down and 10 at the 40. Well, the Jets next Sunday home for the Patriots and finish up in Miami, while the Dolphins tomorrow night will play Cincinnati and then at San Diego, and then they are home for the Jets. O'Brien going to the other side, and that is short of a first down. Melvin Jenkins right there to stop Dale Dawkins, a 6-yard advance.
The Jets are in a hurry up mode. There are 3 minutes left to go in this third quarter, and they're throwing the ball down the field to receivers. Look at your backs coming out of the backfield. He's got Johnny Hector back there, and every time he comes out, he's free.
3rd and 4, and that was almost picked off by Jameson.
Now we found out why he didn't throw the ball to Hector. He just threw it to him, and he hit him in the hands with it, and he dropped it.
And they're having a number of drops starting in the first quarter by Terrence Mathis, and Al Toon had a touchdown opportunity.
Well, here it comes. Here he's just trying to dump the ball to Hector. It goes through his hands, and the Jets are going to go on 4th down at the 46-yard line, and 4 yards to go.
Well, they're down by 17. So Bruce Coslet going for it. Low snap. O'Brien
First down
for the first down. Saw the big hole and was able to get it to the 40 in Lion territory.
And what the Jets are trying to do here is they've got 4 wide receivers out, and the defense is getting a little tired. They can't change it. And watch this. The blocking up front is perfect. White gets a good block, and then O'Brien picks up the first down, and they're still in the hurry up.
And O'Brien able to complete. Dawkins on the catch, stopped by Alexander. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the third.
I wish they weren't in a hurry up so we could show you this. You know, the Jets that time had 4 receivers in the same spot. They've got to spread these guys out. They're all bunched up together.
Inside handoff for Johnny Hector. Stopped by Chris Spielman. And that's short of the first down.
Well, Marv, if they were 4 downs in their own territory, you know it's going to be a 4-down offense at this, and when they're in the Lions territory.
Jets now with a 3rd down and 1 with 1.5 minutes to go in the third. O'Brien off the roll, and he has a first down. Altoon pushed out by Melvin Jenkins. Melvin Jenkins in a number of tackles. He's been playing hurt, but the coaches certainly like his style. He plays hard, leads the club in tackles on special teams in his 5th season from University of Cincinnati, a Plan B free agent player by way of the Seattle Seahawks. Spent 4 years with Seattle.
And they've got Detroit using 6 defensive backs, 4 down linemen, and 1 linebacker, which is Chris Spielman.
First down at the 26. O'Brien intended for Moore. And he was covered by Terry Taylor. Rob Moore had a difficult week. Admits it was a tough week because of the fumble, a key fumble that he committed last week in the loss to Buffalo, but he was very upfront about it. Did not hide, as some guys do, as you know, Paul. After the game, he talked about it. Same for Scott Mercereau, was hit with a couple of critical penalties last week, but he did not run to the showers. Terrence Mathis with a first down pass play. Run out by William White. That goes for 10. So the Jets with a first down at the 15 as we peruse the Hertz 10-minute ticker. First the early games. We'll get back to the scores in a moment. The Jets in their hurry up. We're down to a half minute remaining in the 3rd. O'Brien could not find anyone. Brandon McNeil hit down by George Jameson. That's a 6-yard pickup. Time is running out in the 3rd quarter. Lions 34 and the Jets 17. Again, the Jets quickly to the line.
Well, they have time to get this play out, but whether they're going to do or not, no, they're not going to do it. And O'Brien's going to walk to the sideline.
And that is it for the 3rd quarter. We'll be back here at the Silverdome after these messages from your local station. Ray Crockett made his way back onto the field and heard it from the crowd. That's good news for the Detroit Lions. Ray, the starting left cornerback, Wayne Fox, telling us yesterday that he is Detroit's toughest player. Ray Crockett is back. 4th quarter is underway. Detroit 34, the Jets 17. It is a 2nd and 5 down at the 10.
Well, you're looking at another situation, and that time Irv Eatman jumps. The defense, again, can come across, but they can get back.
Before the ball was snapped. False start. Number 75 on the offense. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
All right, let's sweep around in a moment. With that victory by Chicago over Green Bay earlier, the Bears now lead the NFC Central by a half game over Detroit. However, a Lions victory over the Jets here this afternoon would put them back in a tie for the lead. And the late games, Raiders 27-14 over Buffalo. Raiders looking to avenge that 51-3 playoff loss last season. And how about Seattle? If they can beat San Francisco, they go 7-7, and they will vie for that final wild card spot along with the Jets and Miami.
Well, Marv, not only we got some tough things happening on the field, it looks like somebody might have fallen over the wall here at the stadium because they've got one of the people from the stands on the stretcher down in the left end zone. That's why the delay of the game, because this is the area in where the Jets are heading into the end zone, and they have someone on a stretcher that is not a player.
Let's ask the Clarks. What makes Big Boy as a big person? Maybe the new Big Boy Big Shopper in the store. Or maybe they fast food service.
No question, that is the reason the game has been held up. We don't know the details of what exactly happened, but that is a fan that is being taken off via stretcher. And for the players, it has been a very difficult game physically.
Well, the Clarks have decided to let you
good to see Crockett back. Actually, it's in muscle spasms and went into the locker room.
As you say, it looked like he was having a seizure.
It did, because the trainer put his hand in his mouth to grab hold of his tongue so he didn't swallow his tongue. They hurried him off the field, and it's good news for the Lions. They've already lost Jerry Ball. Chris Spielman is playing hurt, and then to lose their best defensive back would have been disastrous for him, but he's back on the field. There's Ray Crockett. Jerry Ball.
And now we are set to pick it up. It's a 2nd and 10 at the 15. Fourth quarter is just getting underway. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from the Pontiac Silverdome. Mathis in motion. And O'Brien throwing. And Mathis on the reception. Bumped out by Crockett, short of the first down. He picked up 7 on the play. A crowd of 71,664 here, short of the sellout by some 9,000. Capacity at 80,600. I would think that has to be awfully disappointing. I know times are rough here in the Motor City area, but ticket prices for the Lions are reasonable, and this club has gone so well, you would think they would sell it out. Here's O'Brien throwing for the end zone. Dale Dawkins, the intended receiver.
And the Jets will kick a field goal. Now we're looking at Blades is down. A lot of this fatigue and a lot of cramps and things are happening because the Jets are throwing the ball all over the field. They ran the hurry-up offense in the last 7 minutes of the third quarter and then into the fourth quarter.
So they are checking out the free safety, Benny Blades, and we'll take a timeout. Back after this.
Saturday.
Yet another severe injury suffered by the Detroit Lions, and another important member of the Lions, their starting free safety, Benny Blades, still down. Here's a look at how the injury occurred.
Right in the center of the picture, that's Blades with his arm up. He brought it down. Now watch him start lifting. He reached his hand back. He pulled a hamstring. And I can remember what that's like. I mean, it's a burning sensation. You just hear that little pop. He's smiling. He's happy, saying, I'll be back.
Well, moments ago, Ray Crockett returned after he was taken to the locker room, and Benny Blades, 4-year man out of Miami, made the successful transition from strong safety to free safety and has played very well. Big hitter, linebacker type, playing free safety, is headed off. Pat Leahy now will attempt from 25 yards away. It's a 4th down and 3 from the 8. Leahy is 1 for 2. Earlier he missed from 30. He hit from 22. And it's good. So the Lions now lead the Jets by the score of 34-20. Now the Lions say that Benny Blades suffering from cramps. A look at tonight's NBC lineup.
Outscored 10-3, and the Lions, scoring those 10 points, had no first downs.
Well, the reason, one of the touchdowns scored on a fumble recovery by Hayworth, and he went 28 yards. And you look, as you say, stats misleading, which our crack statistician Barry Hockhauser does not take as a personal diatribe on your part, but the Jets lead the AFC in time of possession. They average better than 33 minutes per game, but you can throw that out in most cases. And Aguiar with a squib kick, and we'll have to wait and see. The Jets claiming it went the 10 yards.
It did. It did. And the Jets have the ball. They should have had another kickoff. That was Dawkins, I think, number 89, that ended up with the ball. But that ball has to go 10 yards before the Jets could touch it. The ball did go 10
yards with a legal recovery. First down.
You bet. First down.
So the good play, Al Roberts, the special teams coordinator, congratulating his guys. Once again, nice job by Aguiar. And there's the 10 yards. Recovered by Dawkins.
Aguiar showed a lot of agility falling down.
First down at midfield. And O'Brien completes to Tune. Good hit. Good tackle by Melvin Jenkins.
O'Brien to Tune on the pass.
5-yard advance. Melvin Jenkins recently fined by the NFL $5,000 for a hard hit with his helmet a couple of weeks ago on Minnesota receiver Anthony Carter. Jets in a hurry up, and it's a first down. Rob Moore with the catch. Terry Taylor with the tackle.
Moore on the pass.
They're letting some people get away with some things because that time the Lions were offside. It was never called.
For Moore, his 3rd reception of the day.
Dan Owens, number 90, is coming off the field. Toby Caston went on the field, number 50. Remember now, Dan Owens came off when Crockett had cramps. He came off at the same time he hurt his ankle, and he's still limping.
First down at the 36. And O'Brien hits Mathis down at the 30-yard line, so that's short of the first down. Jamison making the stop, picked up 6 on the play.
We're coming up on 13 minutes in the 4th quarter, and you know that Barry Sanders has not touched the ball in the second half.
And that has been circumstantial.
It is.
O'Brien has the open man, penalty flag down as Freeman McNeil was able to remain in bounds, and then was finally forced out. He went for 15. William White on the stop, but a flag is down.
They're calling holding against the Jets, and Jeff Criswell is talking now. I don't know whether he is the man or not. He was the outside tackle on this side of the field where the flag is thrown. But Freeman McNeil took the play action. That was Criswell. Freeman McNeil took the fake and goes through the hole, and nobody even covers him. Now Jeff Criswell is on the left-hand side of your screen. Toby Caston is number 50. Now Criswell just pulls him down on the left-hand side of the screen, but you see Freeman McNeil wide open. Now they're saying that Dwayne White moved. Calvin Pritchett.
Before the ball was snapped. Number 67 on the offense. Ball start, 5 yards, still second down.
First of all, the noise in here is absolutely incredible. But the other thing is that, you know, you're hurrying up. It's as tiring on the offense as it is on the defense. Believe me, it is.
It'll be a 2nd and 18 at the 44. O'Brien able to connect, but they're still some 10 yards away from a first down. Taylor making the stop on Moore. That good for 7. O'Brien has now hit 7 of his last 8, but for the most part short range, and he's 17 for 29, 137 yards. O'Brien again short, and Hector could not hang on.
Well, you're looking at 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Freeman McNeil just limped off the field. Johnny Hector drops the ball. You're looking at 4th and 11, and the Jets have to go for it. Remember, they got this ball back on an onside kick.
So it is a 4th down and 11. Jets trailing 34-20. O'Brien can't find anyone. And now unleashes, and it was deflected, incomplete. Intended for Mathis.
Ken O'Brien just fires this ball. He's got to believe it is 4th down and it's turned over. He's got to believe, though, that he couldn't pick up the 1st down on the play. There were people sitting in front of him. He knew he couldn't run for it, so he had to throw the ball.
Sheldon White, number 25, one-time Giant player, with the coverage on Mathis, and the Jets give it up on downs. Detroit taking over at its 37-yard line.
Guess who's going to carry the ball?
And it is Barry Sanders looking for blockers, reaching out to the 39.
Barry Sanders ran to the right side.
Marvin Washington and Kyle Clifton combined make the stop. I mentioned this crowd has been extremely loud, although they are short of a sellout. And I said that the Lions have had reasonable ticket prices, and they are reportedly the lowest ticket prices in the NFL, averaging out to shade over $18 per ticket, but no sellout today.
It is strange that they're undefeated at home, you know, and playing as well as they're playing, and on their way, you know, possibly to playoff.
2nd down at 8. Play action. Kramer's pass knocked down. Washington got a piece of it.
Well, first of all, this Detroit, they have no business throwing the ball. And I know they have the run and shoot, but they do have tight ends.
Here are the later scores. Raiders beating Buffalo. Washington defeating Phoenix. Redskins clinching home field advantage throughout the playoffs with that New Orleans loss earlier. And Seattle with a 22-17 lead on San Francisco in the 4th quarter. If they hold on, they are 7-7 and in the hunt for that wild card playoff position that both the Jets and Miami are seeking. Kramer completes. Brett Perryman has a 1st down. That's a 12-yard play. Kyle Clifton with the hit. So Brett Perryman, who leads the Lions in receptions, makes his 1st catch of the day.
Now we're going to see the Lions come in with some horses. Cannell's coming in. Dozier's coming in the game.
So we have seen more of a modified run and shoot, silver stretch offense by Detroit, and good things have not happened when they've gone with the tight ends or with the extra running back in Dozier. Sanders this time finds a hole and has a 1st down. Lonnie Young finally collared him. What acceleration, the stutter step moves, the balance. He's 5'8", and he's very difficult to find.
Yeah, he plants and moves, and he's going full speed. 56 is Jeff Lageman. Lewis Brown is out there. Lageman tries to get back in. Brown makes an excellent block on him, and then he makes a couple of moves back to the inside. If his players would get out of his way, Cannell, for example, number 46, he may score.
109 yards now for Barry Sanders. That went for 15. Lonnie Young telling us last night having to tackle Sanders is like having to stop Michael Jordan in the open floor on a fast break. 1st down at the 33. Here's Sanders. This time the Jets get to him for a loss. Jeff Lageman was there to bring him down.
This is what you call when you call a play into the defense. Jeff Lageman is coming across. Watch this. Brown is trying to block him. His job is to get to the outside. They run a toss to Sanders back to the outside. Scott Mersereau is also there, number 94. But there was no place for Sanders to go. They ran right into the teeth of the defense.
2nd and 19. Jeff Lageman telling us the biggest mistake players make trying to tackle Barry Sanders. Said they want to get the proper angle and usually miss. Says you have to go right at him, which he did in that instance, but he's missed on several occasions today. Kramer with the time and is able to complete to Perryman. Hasty on the cover.
Again, you're getting the Jets at the defensive lineman at the line of scrimmage are just jumping up and down and not putting any pressure on the quarterback. And then Kramer just steps back. He's trying to throw one way. That's taken away. So he just turns back and looks for any wide receiver that's open. It happened to be Perriman going down the sideline.
And he picked up 15. It's a 3rd down 4 at the 27-yard line. Eric Kramer making his 6th start of the season. Move past Andre Ware behind the injured Rodney Peete. Peete is out for the season. Is it possible they are taking another look at that last?
They're looking to see if
play?
Perriman is in bounds when he catches the ball. There it is. There's 1, 2.
On the field, the play is ruled as a catch.
3.
With both feet in bounds, then going out of bounds. The play is being reviewed.
Still in bounds, Red. Good catch.
After a review by the replay official, the play stands 3rd down.
Thanks, Red.
What quick action you received.
3rd down.
It's a 3rd and 4 at the 27. That man, Eric Kramer, 17 for 29, 223 yards. Did not have a particularly good game against the Bears on Thanksgiving, although Detroit won it. Helped by 6 Chicago turnovers, 4 interceptions for the Lions. Kramer was only 9 for 27. Sanders on the inside, a handoff as Kramer faked the fade, and Lageman was there along with Lewis.
Lageman may have set a record for tackling Sanders in one game by one guy. he's had about 4 or 5 times. Look at Lageman. He's watching. He makes a commitment. Sanders tries to cut back inside. Lageman gets him, and now Detroit's going to put a field goal up there. That's a smart thing to do.
It is a 4th down and 2. And Eddie Murray, who has connected from 43 and from 37, will attempt from 43 yards out.
They worked on a fake here yesterday. I doubt if they'll do it.
And Murray line drives it. No good. So the score remains Lions 34, Jets 20. 8 minutes remaining in the 4th. Remaining in the 4th quarter at the Silverdome. The Jets are down by 14. O'Brien with the pass on target at midfield for Rob Moore. Stopped by William White, and that is good for 26 yards.
That's one of the few long passes we've seen the Jets complete downfield. Most of the stuff they've been doing is short, but they're running out of time. They're 14 points down, 7.5 minutes to go. They've got to get 1 touchdown in a hurry.
Look out, and O'Brien is hit down by Jeff Hunter. That is his 5th sack of the season.
Well, you can't throw one way downfield and then take a sack. Now, he really doesn't see anything coming on the outside. Irv Eatman is the guy that missed Hunter. Hunter just ran right by Irv Eatman.
Hunter, 6'5", 285. Good speed for a big man. And then O'Brien is picked off. Another Jet turnover. George Jamison with the interception. Jamison returned it for 18. He was brought down by Mike Haight. And Jamison is shaken up.
Watch where O'Brien throws this ball, Marv, right down the middle of the field. Now, falling down is Rob Moore. He did fall down, but I don't think he'd have been able to get the ball anyway because Jamison was in a position. There were some underneath people that you could have thrown the ball to, that O'Brien could have thrown the ball to. He didn't do that. He tried to force it downfield, and it was picked off.
And Jamison with his 3rd interception of the season. He had 1 last week. Ken O'Brien picked off for the first time today. He has had a sensational day. Interception, a sack, 9 tackles. Jerry Ball telling us that George Jamison gets his vote for MVP of the defense. Back to the offense for Barry Sanders. Stopped by Dennis Byrd. Ball telling us that Jamison has done it in quiet fashion.
And the Jets take a timeout. But there's a classic run that we just saw. Barry Sanders. He in the backfield, but he gets a yard.
Timeout has been called with 7:01 remaining in the fourth. Sanders, and this time the Jets able to get to him. He had nowhere to go. He tried the spin move. He lost 2 on the play. Kyle Clifton will get credit for the stop. The Lions with the 14-point lead. A couple of touchdowns by Sanders in the first quarter, a 14-yard run, and then a spectacular 51-yard scamper. Jets came back to tie it at 14. 6-yard touchdown run by Blair Thomas, who has been silent today. That following the early fumble, and Bruce Coslin has not been looking his way. In fact, we've seen quite a bit of Johnny Hector and Freeman McNeil. Then Eric McMillan on a 57-yard return off an interception tied the game at 14. Eric Kramer hooking up with Willie Green to give Detroit 21-14 lead in the second. A 43-yard field goal by Murray extended it. 24-14 at the half. In the third, Leahy hit from 22. Murray answered with a 37-yard field goal for a 10-point Detroit lead. And then the fumble recovery by Hayworth, who ran it in from 28 yards away. That's the big play. Detroit led 34-17. Leahy's 25-yard field goal has cut it to 34-20. 6:50 remaining in the fourth. Sanders, and they will rule that incomplete. Covered by Washington. It'll be a 4th down play as we sweep around the starter. 10-minute ticker. Giants beaten by the Eagles, and with Atlanta winning, they have been eliminated from the playoffs. Kansas City with a victory in overtime. Dallas defeating New Orleans. Chicago beats Green Bay. Detroit needing a win here today to remain on top along with Chicago in the NFC Central. And San Francisco has overtaken Seattle. Victory for Seattle will put them at 7-7 and very much in the wild card hunt along with the Jets and Miami. And Mathis muffed it. And then able to cover up.
First of all, he shouldn't be back there the fair catch it. You don't go beyond the 10-yard line.
35-yard punt, and the ball is spotted down at the 8.
The Jets are sitting here now with no timeouts, 6:36 remaining. They've got to get 2 touchdowns to tie the score.
Paul, it's been an incredible physical game for the Detroit Lions. You see the timeouts remaining. Detroit with their 3. 7 starters have been hurt. Only Ball at this point seriously hurt, forced out of the game. Here's O'Brien on 1st down, connecting with Toon out at the 15-yard line, met by Crockett and Alexander. Now, Jerry Ball is out with a sprained knee. Others who have either gone back to the locker room or to the sideline: Spielman, Owens, Blades, Crockett, Jamison, and Hayworth. 7 starters overall. Pass intended for Toon. He also had a fan fall out of the stands. He was taken off by stretcher. A couple of Jets were shaken up. Are you okay?
I'm fine right now. Most of the stuff with Detroit though is cramps. Blades, we thought it looked like he pulled a hamstring. He didn't. He just got cramps. When they were taking him off, you see when they're holding the guy's feet back towards your body, that's so that they won't cramp up. But here are the Jets in a tough situation. They've got 3rd and 2, no timeouts.
And O'Brien sacked for the 5th time. Dan Owens with his 5th of the season.
Well, here's the guy, Dan Owens, that left limping twice in this game. He's not limping now. Now the Jets are going to have to punt. They can't take any more timeouts. Detroit, all they really have to do is get a couple of 1st downs after they get this ball back.
5 sacks of Ken O'Brien. not a good number from the Jet point of view, and they have felt so good about the fact that they've cut down on O'Brien's sacks this season. But the Lions have been all over him. Dan Owens with his 5th of the year. Here's Aguiar. Mel Gray. So Gray with the fair catch on a 37-yard punt. And it will be Detroit ball at the Jet 44-yard line.
Now we got some fighting and some flags going on. This has been going on all day long. They already had offsetting once. Have another offsetting. Red.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 39 on the receivers. Number 46 on the kickers. Both players are disqualified.
Well, Ray Crockett thrown out. So now we know he is gone for sure.
Trevor Maddich, he's gone.
Crockett in a discussion with Wayne Fonts, and Trevor Maddich also called. So Red Cashin looking to send a message.
Well, only 5 minutes and 35 seconds left.
Well, he doesn't want it to get out of hand at this point, and there goes Crockett.
Worn out the lock on the locker room door. There seems so many guys go in there. Some miracle stuff happens in there, though. You know that?
So first down at the 44 when we resume, and Crockett is hearing it from the crowd. Ray Crockett in his 3rd season out of Baylor. Had a good one today. Strong game last week. 8 tackles and an interception Thanksgiving Day against the Chicago Bears. And Sanders squirting his way. They can't bring him down. Gets inside the 40-yard line. A couple of Jets thought they had him.
Well, yeah, thought is right. Washington thought he had him. Bird thought he had him. And Lonnie Young thought he had him. What's this? Let's see how good he is. There's Young, 31. Nope, you don't have him. There's Bird, 90. No, you don't have him. Washington, you're down there. Hasty, you didn't see him. There's another Washington. He went through 2 Washingtons and a Bird.
18 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns for Barry Sanders. 16 touchdowns to lead the NFL. Leads the NFC in rushing. Depending how Thurman Thomas, his pal from Oklahoma State, made out today against the Raiders. And it is Sanders once again. Looks like he picked it up. Went for 4 on the play.
Well, we got another guy down. We got somebody else hurt. Eric Sanders, number 64. The right tackle is grabbing his knee.
Sanders, the 11-year veteran from Nevada, Reno. Wayne Fonts comes out to take a closer look. And we'll take a break with 4.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. And now they are ready to resume as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. Scott Conover has come on, replacing Eric Sanders. And Barry Sanders with a flag thrown goes for short yardage. Joe Kelly made the stop.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for kicking. Number 31 on the defense. He's disqualified.
Things
15 yards. First down.
Things getting a bit testy. Lonnie Young has been disqualified for kicking, so he has been ejected.
He'll be on the left-hand side of your screen. Here comes Lonnie in here. Sanders goes down, and then they try to roll up on him. Is that Lomas Brown? On the ground? No. It's Conover, number 76. And then Lonnie kicked him. And that's also a fine.
So Lonnie Young, who had to garner up 40 tickets for family and friends from nearby Flint, Michigan.
And probably another grand somewhere in there.
As a early exit. It will be a first down at the 16. And Lonnie getting the treatment from the crowd as he heads off.
Barry Sanders just came off the field. And Overton, Don Overton, number 33, went in the backfield along with DJ Dozier.
Barry Sanders, 20 carries, 114 yards. And Don Overton, second-year player from Fairmont State, has checked in. All right, look at the playoff picture. If we give the Jets a loss to make the record at 7-up and 7 down, Miami plays tomorrow night against Cincinnati. The race for that final wild card position involves Miami, the Jets, and Seattle. So Seattle now goes to 6-8 as they have been beaten. Final score, San Francisco 24 and Seattle 22. So it appears that it will come down to the Jets in Miami, and they meet the final weekend of the season. And Detroit is just running it down. We come up on 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter.
And the people that pay the lowest in the National Football League for tickets are booing because they want to see some more points up on the board. The game is over, folks. You can go home now.
And we are checking the starter 10-minute ticker. It has been a long day for Ken O'Brien. Picked off on that last series. Had several drops that hurt. Dropped by Toon, a drop by Mathis. The Jets, for the most part, going short range throughout the day. O'Brien 19 for 35, 176 yards. Third down play. And the clock approaches 2 minutes remaining.
Well, the worst part about these three plays, Kramer gets 3 carries for a -6 yards.
You are awfully stat conscious for one who points out that the stats are misleading. All right, 2 minutes to go in the fourth. We'll be back in a moment.
Final play of regulation.
Touchdown! There is no time remaining!
As soon as we won the coin toss, I knew we were going to score. Everything was going our way at that point.
O'Brien's back to throw. O'Brien throwing long down the sideline for Walker. And he got it! Touchdown! The Jets are going berserk. They're lobbing Wesley Walker in the end zone.
Recite.
And a field goal attempt from 39 yards out for Eddie Murray. And it is blocked. So Murray is 2 out of 4 for the day. The Jets able to block the attempt. Now we're set for an update. Let's go to Bob.
Kick a field goal here. Buffalo might win.
Marv, 2 overtimes earlier today. There might be another one brewing at the Coliseum. Here's Jim Kelly hitting James Lofton with exactly a minute to play following the conversion. Buffalo has come from behind and tied the Raiders at 27. 2 TD passes for Kelly. He leads the league with 30.
All right, Bob, it appeared that Bobby Houston got a piece of it to block the field goal attempt. And O'Brien fires one, setting the prayer, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Taylor. O'Brien intercepted for the second time today, and the Lions get it back with 1 minute and 43 remaining in the fourth. Terry Taylor with his 4th interception of the season. He had 2 last week, so that's 4 the last 3 weeks. And it will be Detroit ball from their 30-yard line. Jets out of timeouts. And Detroit will make it a record of 8-0 here at the Silverdome. This their first undefeated home season since back in 1962 when they went 7-0 at Tiger Stadium. Now they're spotting it back at the 28-yard line. Let's take a look at today's Canon camcorder replay of the game. And it was Barry Sanders who got the Lions off early, jumping to the 14-0 lead. This one of his 2 touchdowns, this from 14 yards away to give Detroit a 7-0 lead. He went 51 yards on another touchdown run. Jets did come back to tie it at 14, but the Lions with a 34-20 lead. And now they will run out the clock. You see it down to 50 seconds. And for the Lions, victory number 10 represents only the 5th time in the history of the franchise that they have won 10. Last time, 1970, record of 10 up and 4 down. The employee owners of Avis salute the game's MVP. There he is, Barry Sanders, winner of the We Try Harder Award. Avis, the official car rental company of the NFL. Barry Sanders with 114 yards on 20 carries. So the Jets will be in front of the television set tomorrow night rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals against the Miami Dolphins. 34-20, the final. Lions defeat the Jets. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire saying thanks for tuning in, and we will